99X, Barnes, Leslie, and Jimmy today. JB in house for the full show.
We've got, Barnes, already January, February, there are 99X shows. It's just no shortage. We're here for you. I know we've been giving away tickets for Jerry Cantrell. That is February the 15th. Jerry Cantrell, the Buckhead Theater. Also, how about Past Present Tour? David Gray. Love David Gray. February 23rd at the Coca-Cola Roxy.
What year?
2025.
Oh, because we have to ask, because now they're like pushing stuff out to 2027 that we're giving away stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I know Billy Strings, who you hear, of course, on Organic X. February 21st and 22nd at State Farm Arena. Check it all out, the 99X soundboard at 99x.com.
And don't forget, the biggest thing so far of 25 will be Pearl Jam, 29th of April and May 1st. And we have something brewing for that. Stick around. It'll be a morning eccentric, experiential night of love and trust.
You're bringing up the eccentric.
Yeah. Jimmy Barron is here. The Morning X Top 5, the top 5 audio of the week coming up in the next segment. JB, how's the house selling world?
It's picking up. Last year was, as everybody knows, a little bit slower than previous years, but I do believe it's picking up this year based on personal experience.
Isn't this the slowest time?
Yeah, holidays get slow, yes. Actually, slowest time is late summer. This is probably the second slowest time. Late summer is very slow.
Any 2025 predictions? I mean...
Well, I do think that there's going to be movement in inventory. I think there's going to be more inventory on the market. Mortgage rates are coming down a little, not significantly, but housing is the kind of thing that if you got to move, you got to move. Like, you need a bigger house, you need a bigger house. You're not going to not move because interest rates are a half a point this way or half a point that way, despite what people may say.
Full disclosure, I do need to let you know that I'm negotiating with a couple of real estate entities to do their commercials next year. So I didn't want you to get offended.
Radio?
Yeah.
Is one of them a Hispanic-speaking foreign country in Europe?
What?
I can't talk about any of it.
Uh-huh.
But I just wanted to let you know so it didn't hit you, because we're here for Jimmy Barron and Associates.
Do you feel like, JB, would you feel like Barnes is a traitor?
Well, I'm being totally honest. It is something I have thought about because I hear them advertise on a lot of other radio stations, and I'm wondering, one day I'm going to turn on and there's going to be Barnes talking about we'll buy your home for for a tenth of what you want for it.
I'm not commenting on who the entities are, but if you wanted to advertise, I could endorse your Jimmy Barron. Well, we could be a team again.
I mean, I would love that, but I don't have that kind of marketing budget.
Neither do we.
I don't have that. I don't have that marketing budget. But yeah, I mean,
have you sold any celebrity homes lately? Have you
Well, it's funny you say that. The short answer is no. However, a client of mine sent me a listing she saw on Zillow the other day, and they said, we'd like to look at this house. It's a big house in Alpharetta.
Okay.
And I looked it up, and it was, sure enough, it was the Kim Zolciak house.
Ooh.
Wow. That's the one that can't sell, I guess.
Bad juju in there.
Well, I said to her, oh, that's the Kim Zolciak house. She did not know who Kim Zolciak was, okay? And she's, who's that? I said, oh, she was one of the Real Housewives, married to Croy Bierman, a former Falcon, and they had an ugly divorce, and yada, yada. They've been trying to sell the house for years, literally years, and it's distressed, and they asked too much, whatever. So she goes back and Googles Kim Zolciak and looks at some of the old Real Housewives YouTube videos out there.
With the house in it?
Well, yeah, I mean, her in the house. And in fact, there's one video she did where she's actually taking people on a tour of the house. And she called me back the next day. She says no. She was so reviled by Kim Zolciak after watching some of the Real Housewives shows. She just was so nauseated by her. She's like, that is bad energy in that house. There's no way I'm living in that house.
Well, get you some sage and call it a day.
No, but I get it. That happens. There have been homes. Not long ago, there was a home in a neighborhood where the husband had committed suicide in the house.
Oh, I couldn't do that.
And I knew about it. My client did not know about it. I knew about it.
And do you have to tell them?
Well, legally, you don't have to tell them because you're not required to disclose anything unless it's, well, certain things like that you're not required to disclose unless specifically asked. However, ethically, I don't want to sell a client of mine. I don't want a client of mine to buy a house, and I know that there's that in it, and then they buy the house, and then they move in and find out from the neighbors, someone shot himself in the house, and then they're, well, did you know about it? I'm not going to lie to them. So, ethically, I would want to tell them that.
Sure.
Because would you buy a house?
No, and I would hate to find out after from the neighbor. I would be livid.
And if you found out and knew that your realtor knew about it and didn't tell you, right?
End of game.
Right. So I would never want to do that. Yeah, Leslie. So,
have you ever been approached by someone who said that the house was haunted?
I haven't had someone say it was haunted, but when I was trying to sell my house, this is 10 years ago, there was an Asian couple that wanted to buy it. So they come in, they look at it, they like the house, and you know how you have home inspections, right?
Yeah.
The home inspector come in. Well, they also wanted a Feng Shui inspector to come in.
That exists?
It 100% exists. So this little Asian guy shows up one day and walks around the house, and he is putting his hands out, feeling the energy, and he's looking at things. And my house did not pass the Feng Shui test. It had the Feng Shui is about, there are certain beliefs that, like, if a doorway is facing this way, it's not good. Or if apparently if the stairway leads out towards the door, that's not good because that's symbolic of money leaving the house. I don't know why.
Now, have you dealt with that a lot?
No, that was the only time I had dealt with that. But
is that a numerical score? They come back and say your Feng Shui test was 60?
No, they just say it's pass fail.
Oh, pass fail. So they see something bad and it's over.
I don't know. That's the only time. I'm not a Feng Shui expert, but that was the only time I had experienced it. I mean, maybe it's happened before and I didn't know about it. It's possible.
Get that, when you're showing a house, do you get that blood in the water feel? Like when you're walking through with someone, and do you take their cues and when they're like, I just think this kitchen is fantastic. Do you jump in with, oh yeah, the da-da-da? I mean, do you sense the blood in the water when you're going in for the kill?
Well, I don't think about it as going in for the kill. I'm not that kind of realtor who is.
Well, you're a businessman.
They call that commission breath, and I don't have that.
That's a commission breath.
Well, commission breath is when a client can sense that their realtor just wants them to buy a house, so
any house,
so they can make commission.
Breath.
I don't operate that way because I'm not transactional based. I want relationships with my clients. I want them to trust me. I mean, I have many times told clients who like the house, okay, I know you like it, but think about this. This is going to be I had somebody recently want to buy a house in a very expensive area right near the Punchline, Habersham and Roswell and that area.
Blackland back in there, yeah.
Right in there. But it was a condo right there on Habersham, and they were new to town. And I said, okay, just understand this is one of the busiest intersections in all of Atlanta. So I know you like this place, and if you like it, great, but I got to tell you, the traffic here is terrible.
The honest realtor.
I mean, Jimmy Barron and Associates is waiting for you. He's not about the money. You want to give out, how can people find Jimmy Barron and Associates?
They can text Jimmy Barron at Jimmy at jimmybarron.com. Text, email Jimmy or 404-234-2033. I'm with Keller Williams.
Back in the day, we would just giving your phone number out when you're late. Now you're voluntarily giving it out.
And nobody called me that day, by the way.
When you were
late?
In the
height of our success, you gave my cell number out, and not one person called me. How am I not being harassed?
They thought it was fake. Jimmy's here, the full show. We'll get into the top 5 audio of the week next. This is the original. It is 99X.